What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. Don't know what week this is or what episode this is, but
Yeah, we got
it's
a
up there.
little we got a little sidetracked because of my birthday
Uh,
last week.
that's all
So
good, man.
yeah, we
How was
we
it?
it was good, man. It was good. We went out to a nice fancy dinner. Zesty took me out and had a fabulous steak.
Yeah.
What else did I have on the side? I can't remember what I had on the side, man.
How big was the steak?
I think it was 16 ounces.
That's a big
It
steak,
was
man.
it was 14 or 16 ounces. I honestly like all I need is like 12 ounces, and
Yeah.
I'm good,
Even
But
12 ounces is a decent steak, though, too.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm like I used to be a fillet guy, and now I'm
Yeah.
just like I don't even mess with fillets anymore. You
Would you
know?
get a T-bone or something?
No, I actually got a strip, a New York strip, but they called it a
I like
KC
that.
strip
Yeah.
because it was dry aged. And I
Mm.
honestly didn't really notice the difference between the dry aging and like wet aging.
Okay.
But it was like $20 more than the other like regular strip. And
Oh,
I
you're the
felt like the
barbecue guy.
price, yeah, the price difference didn't really
It
justify
wasn't
itself.
worth it.
It wasn't worth
So,
it.
what restaurant was this?
It's called Twisted Tree. It's in Sunset
Okay.
Hills in the county of St. Louis.
Yeah, so
Um we had never been there before, but the ambiance was nice.
nice.
The service was
That's
good.
good, man.
But the steak just it wasn't
It's
priced.
not up to par.
It was not for the yeah, it was not for the price. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I'm a
yeah,
really
man.
easy man to please when it comes to steak, but this just I don't know. Didn't seem like it was a, expensive steak.
Well, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with a steak regardless, man. But hey,
Yeah.
just sold some shoes. Nice.
Hey, what kind of shoes?
Go, Joseph Siebel. They're like comfort shoes.
Okay.
It's like dance goes or something like that.
See,
I don't know if
I
you
gotta
know what
pick
that is.
I gotta pick Marcus's brain at any point possible, especially now that I'm finally making the slow transition into clothing. Like
Yeah, man. Congrats.
everything is finally starting to come together. I'm about to buy my little listing board to set up and everything. So
These are what the shoes look like.
oh, okay,
Nothing
okay,
spectacular. They're just like some slip-on Mary Jane type looking shoes, leather
gotcha,
comfort shoes.
gotcha,
What's up,
gotcha.
Derek?
Yeah, what up, ATL
ATL
Flippers? What up,
Flippers.
Bo,
What's
Hillary,
up, Bo, man, my
and
guy?
Miss Lachey coming
Hillary,
in?
what's going on? Miss Lachey. Our guys lurking in the background while I clean my kitchen. You get that kitchen clean, girl.
Hey,
Do
I
your
got to do the
thing.
same thing to mine.
My kitchen stays kind of clean, man, because I got a dishwasher and I don't. It's just me, you know what I mean? So,
Well, here's
I'll,
like, I get that. Like having a dishwasher is nice. So like Zesty and I, our house is super old and it never got
yeah,
like a dishwasher installed. So we have
right,
like one of those portable RV style, like sits on top of the counter sort of
uh huh,
dishwashers. But it's not the
okay,
dishes that really get us. It's just like the splatter and everything that happens on the stove.
right,
That
right, right,
because
right,
like I try to cook. I try to cook every night, and like
yeah,
Zesty's not the cook. I'm the cook. Like that's
right.
just how it goes. But like,
Well,
man, every time I make a mess, I'm just like, ugh, I gotta clean this
I'll
up.
get
Like,
to it later.
it's not the dishes. It's the
Uh,
stovetop that needs it.
So Bo says Morona for life in the chat. And it's funny because I was at the thrift earlier buying shoes, and I seen some decent looking shoes from the distance, right? And I go over and I'm like, "What are these?" And I look inside and it says Morona in there, and I'm like, "Oh man, I got faked out from afar."
What
But
I explain for the people that don't know.
Morona's like a Target or a Kohl's brand or something, but it's got like
Oh,
horrible resale value. It's like faded glory, but
it's I was
you know
gonna
what I
say
mean? Like
it's like Faded Glory. Okay,
it's something
okay.
you pass on.
I
Hey,
honestly have
Ping
never
G,
seen
what's going
Marona.
on?
What a
Yeah, I've
ping.
never seen it either till I started thrifting. And I was like, it's everywhere. It's
Gotcha,
like ridiculously in abundance at the bins. The dishes
gotcha.
at my house is like the never ending story. There's always more. I can only imagine with like six of you guys or however many there is of you in that house. It's got to be ridiculous, But hey, I got a like half size dishwasher and that thing stays kind of full too. So it's not even
Well,
a normal size.
I honestly I try to stay on top of like both of us using too many dishes without cleaning them. Like honestly, like I'm sort of like a simple person when it comes to dishes, right? Like I'd rather
Yeah.
just have like four plates and then like
Mm.
3 cups or 4 cups, and
Yeah,
that's it. Like that's
right.
all you.
I'm the
That's
same
all you
way.
need. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I moved in here and like my mom's like, I got you some stuff packed up. I was like, Mom, I need one plate, one cup, one bowl, one spoon, one fork. And she packs all this stuff and like I got 4 or 5 of everything. I don't need this. Because
yeah,
then if I use it, I don't wash it, then the whole sink gets filled because I got another one.
that's exactly why. It's like if you
Yeah,
limit yourself to however many you have, like you're forcing
yeah,
yourself to wash it before
yeah.
you use it. You know,
You
so
got a whole closet full of clothes. You're gonna wear them all. Who cares if the dirty clothes basket's filled?
yep.
Derek says we just hired our first maid, our daughter. LOL. I hate washing dishes. Me too, bro. I hate washing them too. That's why I got that dishwasher.
Yo, I can't wait to have a child for child labor.
Bo says pressure washer for cleaning the kitchen. I just seen Drew Thrift and Flips real. He like legit took a power washer and spray cleaned his hocus while they were on his feet. Like
Okay.
came out crispy. I'm like, wow, never
I
thought of that
mean,
one.
depending on the nozzle that you have on the pressure washer, that could
Yeah,
either work well or you
or
could
tear
end
them
up
up.
with an injured toe. Like
Yeah,
it could,
this looked like one of those lower tier ones.
yeah.
For you to be able to spray yourself in the foot with it, it ain't no maximum level.
Yeah. Because I remember when I worked at the car wash, I worked at a car wash for 5 years.
Yeah,
Needless to say, there was some times where we got really bored and we
yeah.
decided to power wash our own shoes, and that did not feel good at all.
No, I bet not. Yeah.
So,
Hillary says she needs to just get a bulk load of disposable plates and cups. Yeah,
you know,
that's an option too.
I used to have the
You used to
same
do that.
attitude, but like you also, and I'm not trying to get preachy here at all,
Mm,
but like you realize that you're being super wasteful if you do that too. So
yeah.
just say it, just putting that out there. Lower your footprint.
Jennifer Folsom Pell says, "Whoa, sign me up. I would want a man that cooks every night." Well, Zesty, she definitely got her a man that cooks every night.
Hey,
That's for
listen,
sure.
that's why we're getting married, Jennifer. Okay.
Yeah, there you go,
she
bro.
she's marrying me for the fact that I cook
For
every night.
that's it. It's
Ah,
the best.
I don't know if you guys heard that or not. You probably didn't, but
What she say?
Zesty's back there going, "No, I did not."
My problem exactly. I have a million of everything just for me. See, so you feel my pain, man. You got to minimize the options, because then if you minimize it, you don't go overboard.
It's
I,
it's a form of living. Dang it, I completely forgot the word. Anyway, minimalism. It's a form of
yeah,
minimalism, right?
yeah.
Like when you minimalize the things, especially for Americans, like we are very much
Very
maximalist,
wasteful, man.
very wasteful, very maximalist people.
Mhm.
Again, not trying to get preachy, just looking at minimalism. You don't
Yeah,
have to do it full blown minimalism, but it's nice. It's nice when
yeah,
you simplify the things in your life
right.
to bring yourself more quality of life, if that makes any sense.
That makes.
Just
I
tell me
was
I'm
about to say
stupid.
that
I don't
makes
care.
sense. No, you know more about it than I do.
I mean,
Hillary says, Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh no, I was just gonna say I don't practice minimalism in the true sense. Like I know
Yeah,
there's some minimalists that like only have like 5 t-shirts, 5 pairs of pants, and they're all similar color, like that type of
yeah,
like minimalism. No,
yeah.
but
That's a
like
little
what
extra.
we're talking about with the dishes and the cups thing, like totally,
I
totally.
guess I'm kind of there because I got a lot of black shirts.
I mean, yo,
I wear a lot of black clothes, but
yeah, I do too.
I've seen another reseller that uses a pressure washer to clean shoes, but not on his feet. Okay, yeah,
I mean,
he legit had them on feet,
I mean, if you
socks
like,
tied, everything.
if you use like the liquid whatever cleaner that it is that you use on shoes, like I'm sure if you
Like
sprayed it with that,
Shoeinator or something like that.
yeah, or just even OxyClean spray,
Yeah,
you could power wash it after that, and I'm sure that it would work pretty well.
yeah. I don't know if this is like something that he does on a regular basis or if it was something that was just for the real. But you know what I mean. It was still funny though. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
And
for
those shoes
sure.
came out looking great. They were a pair of Hokas that came out super crispy.
I'm
So
sure they
yeah,
did. I'm sure they did. Also, speaking of Zesty and Hillary, we're gonna have them on next week, guys. So be
is
prepared
this
for that.
confirmed now?
This is confirmed 100%.
Nice.
Next week, we're going to have our first guest on this podcast. I'm excited.
Awesome.
So,
You
yeah,
guys
we're
heard
going
it
to
here
have 4
first.
people on next week.
Yeah,
It's going to be
a
fun.
cluster.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, you're hosting that one, man. So
Yeah.
good luck. Good luck with the back end
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah. That's, well, I told Hillary and I told Zesty, I was like, I got to get some logistics done. before we set everything up, you know. So I got to get 2 microphones in here and all
Yeah,
that fun stuff. Get her a set of headphones as well.
right.
So it's
Yeah,
always fun.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, man, I got my microphone here, man, but I don't have anywhere to plug it up at. Like right now, my computer's sitting on top of 2 bins, so like I got
Oh,
the cheapest setup ever.
so it's like kind of farther away or like,
It's just not enough space. So
oh
like I'll
yeah,
show
that's
you.
right.
It's on some bins,
Oh,
right,
dude, you
with
are
my camera. There's
basic right now.
basic, so there's no place for my microphone to go. That's
You
why
look like you're on the run right now, bro. You're
I am, dude. Don't tell nobody where I'm at. Like I'm sitting in the dark. Like, shh.
I love how you at least got the ring light though. That's,
Yeah, yeah, man. You gotta set the ambiance, you know.
it
Got the
does.
little
It
sign in
does.
the background. But legit though, it gets super bright in here. There's just no lights in here. But like I got my listing board over there up against the wall, and then I got my that black box is my shoe box where I list my shoes and hats. And then the
Yeah.
rest of that's all shipping supplies and listed inventory. So
Okay.
I'm just thugging here by myself, man, just doing my
Man,
thing, doing
I
eBay
didn't
listings.
realize how much angle you have on the listing board. That's a lot of angle.
I mean, it just depends on what I'm listing. You know what
Okay,
I mean?
okay.
I prefer, honestly, man, it was faster the other way I was doing it, where it was just a board leaning up against the wall. But I could probably lean it less uh, and still do the same thing. I don't have a hanger, so some stuff slides the more I have it slanted. The more flatter it is, the easier the garment sticks to the material that I have. But I
Right.
don't use a hanger right now, so like if I'm listing like a puffer jacket or something, it's gonna slide right off. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
I'm seriously thinking about leaning it back up against the wall and going back to using the hanger. The board is awesome. I don't mind the board one bit. It's just I don't know if it's faster the other way or if I'm just messing up somehow. Just trying to get used to a new setup. I don't know. We'll
Well,
figure it out.
that's what I was about to ask you. Like, what do you think is faster, having the hanger or not? You know what I'm saying? What's
Well, I've only timed the process with the hanger. I haven't timed it without.
okay.
So what I do notice is what takes a little bit longer is I actually situate the garment without the hanger, and with the hanger I don't. I just let it hang.
Right.
So that takes time. So I feel like if I went back to the hanger, I wouldn't have to mess with posing the item, staging the item, and making it look like cool or at least neat.
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
Hers,
gotta ask these things,
yeah,
not only for you guys, but
yeah.
for
But you're
myself.
getting ready to do it
I
yourself,
mean,
yeah.
yeah. So like I've got the old desk that my listing station used to be the base
Yeah.
of. So I was kind of thinking of using that as sort of the base for my board,
Yeah.
but I think it might be too tall. We'll see what
Right.
happens. So yeah,
Uh, let me get to
I'm
this.
getting close.
Go ahead. Hillary said, "Look at you with the redneck furniture." I actually got it from my neighbor. This couch that I'm sitting on was already here when I moved in, and the 2 chairs, like these chairs, man, they are covered in pet hair that I did not see when I got them. So I'm donating them to the thrift store. They'll probably be gone tomorrow or the day after. I need to get them things out of here. I've never even sat on them, so they're literally just taking up space in the way. Uh, but yeah, I thought I was getting hooked up, man, but I see why he gave them to me now. What's going on, Chris? Appreciate you coming and kicking it, my guy.
What up, Chris?
If you use a grippy material on your clothing board, it helps. It is grippy. It's got like it's the thick pile on it. It's like a Sherpa lining. It's like Sherpa. I guess it's what they make clothing out of. I got it from Joanne Fabric, so it's like the inside of a Levi's trucker like Sherpa line jacket. But
Yeah,
it's not that thick because that holds extra like material like any type of flyaways or fuzzies and piling and stuff gets on that stuff really bad. This isn't as thick as that, but still like strings of stuff will get attached to it and I have to like lint roll it and pick it off and things like that. But it does grip the garment real well. Like I said, it's just slick stuff that I have issues with. It slides right off.
yeah. I mean, I guess how many slick things do you really have? You know?
I've been minimizing it since I started listing it this way. Like the other day, out of all 200 something items, I only picked up like 5 slick things, and one
Yeah.
was like a mossy oak, like Russell brand hunting shirt, so super slick. Uh, Yeah, I know what the utility fabric is, Tommy. He said mine is utility fabric they use it to insulate air conditioners and stuff. Sunny Las Vegas uses the same thing as well. A couple of it was floating around with all the buzz in the reselling community a couple months ago.
What
Maybe a
is
little bit longer than
I'm
that.
actually I'm gonna Google
Utility
what.
fabric.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to know
it's
what this
pretty good too.
is.
I would get something like that over what I got because what I got I paid like $50 for it, I think, and that was with a 40% off coupon, so it was more like $80. Uh,
Gotcha.
I would not buy it again ever. I really like it, but it was just costly for no reason. And when you could buy like a $10 throw blanket from Dollar General
Well,
or something.
and that's kind of where my mind went to the old green screen that I used to use for live streaming. It's just like a
Uh,
piece of like almost it's almost like a felt blanket that's
yeah,
green. And I
yeah,
was just gonna use that as a
yeah.
wrap for it.
Go for it, man.
And that would also really help to eliminate the background on any items that I would want to eliminate the background on
Right,
because
because it's green.
it's a green
Right.
screen.
Well,
So
the guy
like
that made this sign, he uses just a flat sheet, just a cotton flat sheet that goes on your bed, nothing special. But
okay.
Hillary, Chris from Daily Refinement, uses this. This is why I got it. Uh, it's the same exact fabric that he uses on his
Yeah,
board.
Hillary, I thought it was carpet too.
No,
But
Tech and Sports uses carpet.
I was gonna say, dude, you could even go to Menards or Home Depot
Yeah.
or whatever and buy like carpet squares,
See, but
like
I
two by
asked
two
him.
carpet squares, and they're super
Oh
cheap.
yeah, yeah. See, I didn't think about that, but I went there and I asked them to cut me some carpet, and they said it was going to be a lot more to cut the carpet. So I was just like, all right, forget it then. I'll just go get this stuff, and I did.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
curious now. I might actually do that route because I actually use the carpet squares for underneath my pool. The pool
nice.
we set up out back. I just something I got off the internet that a lot of people recommended was pool or carpet squares for under the pool.
Yeah,
So or even just like an
that's
old
odd.
rug, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it works because it makes the underneath the liner like smooth, you know. So little pool
Uh,
tip for you guys on a podcast about reselling.
about reselling, hey, it's all types of shenanigans. Tommy says the polyester and nylon jackets suck for the board though without a hanger. Yeah, that's for sure, bro. Now I do have like fishing wire, like twine on the back, and it'll hook over to the top, and I'll hang a hanger on there for slicker garments. I just don't really like doing that, just because the fishing twine is a little bit longer than it needs to be right now, and I'm too lazy to just change it out. I'll just do it tomorrow. Change it out and make it a little bit shorter. Call Stanley Steamer. I don't think they're worth it. They're just basic chairs, but I don't even really like
Yeah,
them honestly.
I was gonna say, man, they also make like pet hair specific brushes that you could try to use. We have one for Tank,
Yeah, yeah. And I
because
went to
you know.
Walmart and looked at them, but they wanted like $30 for them, and I was like, I could just literally go buy something I actually
Oh
need.
yeah, nah.
You know
Like
what I mean?
I think ours was like 18 or 20 bucks off Amazon, if that. So
So Jennifer says, I'm dying laughing to myself. I don't even know what a clothing board is or what it does. You just take photos on it. I don't know if you saw it when I shone the light over there. I guess I could turn the light on and let you see.
also, let's take a moment to appreciate Marcus's new logo back there from Thriftologist that he got for his birthday. That thing is super sweet.
So that board leaning up against the wall is just it's a foam board with fabric over it, and you take photos. You lay your photos on it, and yeah, that's it.
That's it. It is a special board. Very special.
Giving you guys the behind the scenes look.
Absolutely. What's up, Valentinos?
Hey, my guy, what's going on, bro? Penny G says used to lay clothing items on. Oh yeah, yep, that's what it's for. I used to do flat lay, but with my phone, I don't know if it's all phones. I'm pretty sure it is. But when you take a picture of something flat, the photos get rotated all different directions. So instead of everything being straight the way you take it, they'll rotate all throughout your phone. So when you go to add them to a listing, you have to rotate them the correct way. And doing 50 listings a day, I don't got the patience for that. Like it used to be fine when I was doing 5 to 10 a day. I could just rotate them, but now
I'm
I don't know.
sure. I feel like there's got to be a way to lock it into landscape or portrait mode. I would be
You can
really
figure it out totally,
surprised.
bro.
What's that?
I said, you figure it out and tell me.
Okay.
I
I
guess
mean,
I
like,
could Google it.
yo, I used to have that issue with the GoPro until I was
Yeah.
like, there has to be a way. There has to be, and there was. Like we probably did like 50 or 60 videos, maybe even more than that, without locking the GoPro into landscape mode. Because like
Really.
I would have to flip all the ones that were in portrait mode
So, you know,
in
that
Resolve.
happens. That happens from time to time. Like I'll have one clip that's sideways, but I could just rotate it. But other than that, like I don't know. Must be an Android issue. Never happens on iPhone. It might be, man. But I did know. I
Yeah,
do know
maybe.
that Chris Daily Refinement said that he uses an iPhone, or he was using an iPhone for his staff to do listings. It was like an iPhone 9 or 8 or something like that. He never mentioned that he particularly had that problem, but you know, I guess I guess it is an Android thing. Julian
I
said
would
you can
be
lock the GoPro. Holy crap! Yeah, Ray
yes.
fixed my GoPro for me at the bins. Like I had it in the wrong settings and everything. So stuff I would just never know.
We got him on the right path. We got him on the
Yeah,
right
man.
path. But no, I would be super surprised if there wasn't a way to lock that in. I would be super surprised.
Dude, I was taking
So
photos yesterday on my camera on my phone, and I went to upload them to the computer. Then I went to upload them to the listing, and it said invalid photo format. And it's been doing that for the last 3 days, honestly. And so I was like, you know what? Screw this, because I was using that phone to do it with, and
yeah.
then I got another phone on here somewhere that I was taking pictures with too. Both of these phones, the photos uploaded fine, just fine. The first couple times I did it, and all of a sudden they stopped working out of nowhere. So I went up to Best Buy, and like the dude up there was like, "You got them in the wrong format." And I'm like, "How did it even get switched over? We didn't change nothing,
Yeah.
dude. He didn't change anything." I took the photos today and I uploaded them to the computer, and it went just fine. So I don't really know what happened,
Dude,
but
that's weird. That's some black
yeah.
magic shit right
It
there.
is,
Like
man. It's crazy. But I was trying to upload the photos to the computer, and then I would. So what I'd have to do is do the draft on my computer, and then go in the phone, load the pictures to the phone, to the listing through the phone, and then save it
uh
as a draft. That just took
uh
a long time, dude.
yeah, no. Like I was going to say may have like changed the format of the file at some
Yeah,
point, but like it's the same way with like the GoPro. Like you can
yeah.
accidentally change the way that
Don't
you're
even know
filming,
it.
and
Right.
if it's not 1080 60 frames, like
Yeah.
you're goofed, you know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
dude, that's really weird that the guy never changed anything and you went home, used it, and it was just fine. Like
Yeah.
that's really weird. That's really weird.
Uh, Valentino says, yeah, cotton shirts stick really well to my board, but polyester shirts like Peter Millar or FootJoy, yep, they slide right off without a hanger. That's for true.
So
Definitely.
what are you guys using? Are you guys using like a little piece of material at the top to like put your hanger on really quick?
So
Like a
at
little piece that
first,
like dangles?
I was using, one of those little latch things that you hook over the door, and then like
Oh yeah.
I was
Yeah.
using one of those, but I mean, it doesn't allow for much room to hang down from the top of the board. So
Yeah.
like sometimes like I would be like out of space pretty much. So like the top of the picture would be like very little space above it, and like
Yeah.
OCD would kick in, and like I would like have to get the bottom lined up just kind of perfectly, but it didn't leave a lot of space. So
Yeah.
it's better to use something that can't be seen, like fishing line or something like that,
That makes
or
sense.
just like there's a guy, his name's Josh. He's got a channel called RC Ranch. He uses one of those. It's like a chain with a clip on the end, and then like he'll clip his item with that chain.
Oh,
And
okay.
I mean, you can see it, but it's not big and gaudy like a big white hang over the door clip thing that I have.
Yeah. So is it just like a chain with like a little like alligator clip, or is it like
Yep,
okay.
yep, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, I feel like the fishing line makes the most sense.
Yes, you can't see it.
I don't know. I'll have to send some pictures in the Discord when I finally get it all set up.
Okay.
Speaking of guys,
Yeah.
go hang out in the Discord if you're
There's a link in the description.
yeah, I was gonna say hit that description, go hang out in the Discord. It's absolutely free. We're not charging
Yeah.
anything to come hang out and chat with us and
It's
share
just a
share
social.
information. Yeah,
Yeah.
share
Uh,
information.
yep. Hillary says Tommy, the iPhone she, or it happens to her sometimes, she uses an iPhone if she's not paying attention. Julian's YouTube and how to lock his GoPro right now.
I love
or
it.
I use Procam 8 to lock all the settings in. Is that an app? Is that exclusive to iPhone? Thanks for the tip, Tommy. All
I
right,
feel
let's
like you
see.
wouldn't even have to use a piece of software on your phone. I feel like the default camera should have the option to lock in landscape or lock portrait.
Well, let's just
But
check it out and see.
Bearded Thrift, I'm so happy to have helped you though.
Yeah,
it literally like I said, I had like 50 or 60 videos where listen, granted I created something for DaVinci Resolve to like do that quickly. Like it would modify the file to rotate it quickly, but I
right.
still had to do it to every single clip that was in portrait mode and not landscape mode. And then after I
Shoot.
locked it in landscape mode, my life changed.
Yeah, I
So
don't see that. I don't see anything. It's
I would
actually
honestly Google your phone model and lock in portrait or lock
okay.
landscape mode. That's what I
Right,
would
right.
do. But maybe that's something you want to do after the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Coco Bay, what's shaking everyone? What's going on, guys? How you guys doing today?
Coco Bay. Why do I feel
Yeah.
like I've never seen that name in the chat before?
They just recently started watching the channel.
Okay, cool.
Uh, I've been following them for, man, I want to say about 8 months now.
Okay.
Way back a few months ago, Bobby the Cap guy did a video challenging resellers to make a video with or recommending 5 other channels, and uh, John from dang it, man, Bama Picking and Grinning recommended Coco Bay, and that's how I found them.
Oh
Because
yeah, no,
I recommended him, and then so
yeah.
on and so forth.
I remember you doing that and you recommended me.
Yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
use verticals to take pics since we use square mode. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe, but
uh
that's why I just start taking pictures, vertically, and nothing rotates that way anyway. So
I don't know. It's really interesting because when I take my photos, granted I don't do clothing, but I will do like the two, like let's say it's a video game, right? I'll do both the front of the video game and the back of the video game in landscape,
yeah.
and then I'll crop them down, and then everything else is just vertical. Like, and it's I don't know. I mean, that again, that's probably the difference between hard good and a clothing listing, but I don't know. I never have issues. So I don't know. I'm sure
Well, I
there's a
know I'm
way.
not the only one, but I do. What I do know is that Tekken Sports uses the camera, and he uses a certain edition of Mozilla Firefox. It's like some browser that's not like Mozilla's around still, but the edition that he uses is not around anymore. So you have to like Google it and upload the exact browser that he uses, and it does not rotate the pictures. So maybe I'd have to
Wait,
download that
so
browser.
he's implying that the browser is at fault for rotating the pictures?
I'm not saying that he's implying that, but I'm saying that he doesn't have that issue using that browser, and so he doesn't change anything.
Huh. Well, I have to think that the browser wouldn't have anything to do with it. That's very interesting. Like I feel like I'd have to come over and like see what's going on in process there because I feel like I
Yeah,
feel like this is a very simple ish like something to solve, but it's like something dumb that like we're forgetting, or like,
yeah.
something that's not happening between your phone and the computer,
Oh, it ain't just me. It ain't just me.
So
It was happening with my girl's phone and everything. So I've
that's
seen
so
several
weird.
people that it happened with.
That's so
You know,
weird.
it is what it is. Valentino asked, "Does putting your store on vacation mode mess with the algorithm?" Just wanted to know if anyone has any personal experience with it. So this is the thing, right? Putting your store on vacation mode will slow down your sales. You will still be able to make sales, but there's going to be two things that happen. One, people are going to see that you're, you know, not around, so your shipping is going to take a lot longer. And then number two, it's also going to tell them that when they go to purchase it, this item's going to be, delayed until blah blah blah, whatever date that you set it. So maybe people don't want to wait, or maybe they won't show your items to as many people because of that. But me personally, I did use the vacation mode option before. I still made sales. I wouldn't say that it was much less than what I was used to making, because at the time I was only selling like 3 or 4 a day anyway. I was gone for a week and I shipped out like 25 or 30 something packages when I came back. So that for me was good back in those days. So I don't really know if I took a week off now. I'm selling over 100 something items a week. I don't know what would happen, and I've just assumed that it would not be as many sales as I'm used to. I would not
Yeah.
put my store on vacation mode though. Me personally, I would just extend my handling time because when you come back and your store is on vacation mode, you kind of got to kickstart it again. So it means like you got to list a certain amount of number of items for a certain amount of days for it to realize, that you're back in action and it wakes up again. So if you keep like me, I keep a large draft bank, right? So if I'm listing from my draft bank the whole time I'm on vacation, even though I'm on vacation and I'm not shipping anything, I'm still active. I'm still adding listings to my account. I'm still doing everything on the back end, like answering questions and accepting offers, sending offers, and those types of things. Um, eBay still thinks I'm ready to play. You know what I mean? I just got extended handling time, so uh, I would try to do that uh, versus going over your or going and turning your store off. That's just that's what I would do.
Yeah, I think everything that Marcus just said is pretty much what I would say. I have tried it. The first time I went on vacation when I became a full-time reseller, I completely closed my store.
Mm,
And that was a big hit. Like obviously, I mean, you're just not getting any sales. It took a while to get things kind of starting back. Actually, no. Whenever I came back the first day, like I actually had a more sales than average, which was really weird. But so I don't know if they like kind of jumpstart your algorithm after you close the store for 2 or 3 days or whatever it is.
mm,
But yeah, I highly recommend getting a draft bank before you go on vacation, putting it in vacation mode, or you know, just like Marcus said, increase the handling time. But I've done it to where I've been on vacation mode and I've still been active. Like even if it's a couple, drafts, going live a day or something or whatever, I still done close to the same amount of sales being in that mode. So I don't know. I mean, Marcus is probably more, correct with saying just
no,
put it in.
I'm no expert, that's for
I
sure.
was gonna say though, like just increasing the handling time is probably the better play
Mm.
because you're not in vacation mode. So I don't know.
Tommy
I mean,
said Tommy, he's definitely been reselling for a lot longer than me, I'm sure. And he says handling time is part of best match, so yes, you will appear lower in results. And some people are impatient and won't buy.
that's true
That is
too.
true.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tommy. Yeah, that's a really good point. And honestly, like if you just say like maybe if you're just more upfront in being like, "Hey, I'm away until X time," like it might seem a little bit better than being like, "Oh man, their handling time is
Yeah.
3 to 4 days." Like, so I don't know.
So
I mean,
Jennifer says, how long have you been reselling? I've been reselling for like a year and a half. It'll be a full time. I'll be full time in October for 1 year. But I started reselling like a year and a half ago.
yeah, same. I mean, I'm pretty much on the same. It's crazy how me and Marcus are like basically on the same timeline. Like we
Yeah.
both part time sold for like 6-ish months.
Yep.
We've both been full time for about a year. So yeah.
Derek and them. Yeah, Derek just went on vacation a while or a couple weeks ago. He says we've had bad experience with vacation mode. We just adjust the shipping and handling time. So yep.
Okay. Well, there you
Uh,
go.
Tommy says if you do use time away, don't relist or list new items that will not be included in time away. And that probably has something to do with me myself because when I came back, I listed while I was on vacation because I was part of this challenge with Paul Philly Flipper and Chris Flip the World and Dana Invest and Red Mountain Resale. We were all listing 15 a day in May, and I was listing while I was on vacation. And then all of a sudden, when I got back and I turned my store on, I made like a whole bunch of sales like right away. And that's probably why, because everything that I listed got indexed. Because I was gone for a whole week, 15 items a day are getting added, and then I guess they all just got flooded in at one time.
That
It
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
And also, Tommy, yeah, Tommy's saying that he got dinged on the ones that were sold with late shipment, and that makes perfect
Mhm.
sense. That makes perfect sense. So yeah,
Yep.
you
That
should be
happened to me
very
too.
careful with that. If you're
That
gone for
happened to
more
me.
than 2 or 3 days, especially if it's not over a weekend,
Yep.
you could definitely get in trouble really quick with that. So that's
So
really good
what
advice
I would recommend doing,
from
so it's
Tommy
like
there.
if you're gonna say you're going on vacation on Friday, right? But it's Monday, and you got offers, you got a buyer that you send an offer to, they have 48 hours to accept your offer. So what I would do is by Wednesday, I would not send any more offers out. That way, if you get to Friday and all your offers expire, you're good. But if someone accepts an offer, say you sent out Thursday, and then they pay on Saturday, you're on the hook for that. That's exactly what happened to me when I went on my first vacation. Sold a pair of Dickie pants. The guy had however many days to pay, and he didn't pay. He was like, "I'm going to pay on this day." I'm like, "If you don't pay before that, I'm going to be out of town." Well, he paid, and then I got back to a late shipment defect. You know what I mean? But it,
Yeah.
it fell off. But uh, still, I just wouldn't recommend you do that. Take it with you or
Yeah.
something, and just pay retail shipping price, or get the little QR code scan through your eBay app and print your label out that way.
Yeah, you could definitely do it that way. I mean, another way to do it would be to take like a big chunk of drafted listings and just drop them all right before you go on vacation mode. And then that way you just have a huge wave that you can kind of ride into the vacation, if that makes sense. So
Or
like,
schedule them. You can always
or
schedule
yeah, you
them.
could schedule too. But yeah, I mean that way, like if you're gone for 5 days, you list 10 a day, you just drop 50 before you leave, like you're probably gonna be pretty okay, you
Yeah.
know.
Hillary says, "What is this vacation you speak of? Never heard of it."
I mean,
Yeah, man.
listen, that's the thing too. Like sometimes when you're a reseller and you're even when you're putting drafts up, live and you're answering questions or maybe
Hmm.
you send a few offers, sometimes it doesn't feel like vacation. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, but for me, I enjoy that kind of stuff though. Like I love tinkering around in the back end of my seller hub.
I do
I
too.
just like looking at the analytics and understanding what's going on, and I'm constantly trying to like get the numbers to go up and get the green to go up, or if it's in red, I'm trying to figure out what happened and
Yeah.
things like that. So like my conversion rate before I went into clothing, my conversion rate was at like a 2.3.
Okay.
I flooded my store with clothing and went to the strictly clothing category, and my conversion rate dropped all the way down to 1.7. And I panicked, and I'm like, "What's going on?" Like, "Oh my god!" And but also at the same time, I started increasing my listings like one every 2 weeks. So I'm now listing more items that are not all over the place. So it's not an everything store anymore. It's just one category. So it fell off, and then slowly but surely over time it started climbing back up. It's stuck at like 1.8 for the longest, for like the last 4 months.
Hmm.
But now it's at 1.9, so it's jumped up a little bit. So 1.9
Hey.
is it's good. I'll take it.
I mean, that
Oh
can
man, I
also
love the
depend.
data as much as the money. Definitely.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
What's
I
up,
was
Laura?
also going to say like that the conversion rate could also be, how good are your pictures? How crappy are your pictures? How good is
Yeah.
your description?
Yep.
Like how good is your price?
Yep.
So there's a lot of
Hmm.
factors that
You
go
got to
into that
pull out
for
all the
sure.
bells and whistles, man, when you want to make those sales. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's up,
No
Laura?
gray areas. What's going on, man? That's a new
I
name
feel
for
like
me.
that's another new name. No, Laura.
Laura. Laura, no, she follows me on Instagram. I know that for sure.
I'm sorry, I'm
Uh,
not part of your Instagram no. Your Instagram posse. Like
yeah, you are though.
no, I
uh,
know.
so I am new to eBay as a seller. How do I get approved to post more than 5 items? I'm only five a month. So
Take
this
it
is what
away,
you got to
Marcus.
do. This is what
Take
you
it
got to
away.
do. I help somebody else out. So what you got to do is you got to list all five of those items, sell them correctly, ship them correctly, and allow them to get delivered correctly. Meanwhile, you call eBay and you ask them, "Hey, can you guys increase my limit?" And they usually will increase it. I don't know exactly how much they'll increase it off the first time you call them, but then once you get them to increase it, which they will, no questions asked, period. Uh, Let them, increase your limit and then max those out as well. And if it's before the end of the next month, call them again. But after that, you should have enough listings to make it through a month at a time. And then they'll just start. I'm at 7,000 listings. I can list $500,000 in inventory. So, and I've only been doing this for like a year and a half. So, they'll start bumping your limits up without you even asking in no time.
But it is good to ask. Moral of the
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
Yep. Just ask. You don't
Just
know until
ask.
you ask.
Yep.
Do you
Exactly.
do you use promotion on all your listings? I promote my whole store at one flat rate of 10%.
Oh,
So
really?
yes,
So
yeah,
do you promote and then do like a 20% sale on top of that?
yes, I do.
That makes
And then
sense though, because your
and then
cost
I
of goods
send
are
ridiculous offers.
your cost of goods are insanely low. So I mean
Yeah,
that makes sense. It
yeah,
doesn't eat into your margin that much.
yeah. Once you have completed a few sales, give you yep. Marcus, are you testing any new brands? I sure am. Um,
Yeah,
well, I'm. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, like I was gonna mention that brand that you got the other video, the Emogen or
Mhm.
whatever it was.
Yeah,
Is that a new brand for you?
yeah,
I
yep.
definitely feel like that was a new. I've never heard of that
I got
brand.
an $80 offer on that shirt today, man. Actually, and
Ooh,
I got
that's
it listed
tempting.
for $150 though, man. So I'm like, that's almost half of what I got it listed for, man.
Yeah,
Which
but
seems to
how many
happen a
days has it
lot.
been listed?
I don't know, like a week. I'm like, no,
Okay, I
I'll
was gonna
wait.
say
I'll
that's
wait.
kind of the cutoff for me. Like, what about you guys in the chat? What's the cutoff on like? Okay, so you have a cost of goods of like $1. Okay, so you're 80xing your
Yeah,
profits. If I
but
like
this
80xing after a week, I'm in. I'm in. If I
I
can
would
80
have.
times my
But
profit,
this is the thing, though, dude. There's not very many of them listed, right?
yeah,
There's not
yeah,
very many listed, and there's
that's fair.
more. It's like a 300% sell through. You know what I mean? So
Well, if
I think
especially if the sell through is that good, then yeah, I would wait.
yeah.
I would
And
wait.
then nobody's selling it for. I mean, there's probably an $80 seller, but I can't really remember off the top of my head. But I'm not gonna just sell it. Just if the guy wants it bad enough, he'll counter. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I agree. I agree. Or he'll offer you more later on down the road.
Yeah.
He'll
So
wrangle it out of your hands eventually.
right. Tommy says switch to a business account, call in, answer the silly questions about what you sell that will generally give you 100 to 250 to start. And that's exactly what I did. I called them and I was like, look, man, I'm trying to make you guys a lot of money. I have an account already, but that account's limits, the first account I opened up, the limits on that it was all jacked up as well. So I just opened up a second account, and that account started out with 250, like right off the jump. I don't even know why I didn't have to go through the hurdles of the 5 listings, 10 listings.
Yeah, I was
Really,
gonna I was gonna say I never had to go through this struggle because my account is from like 2014,
yeah. So
and
you're
it was
grandfathered in.
well, yeah, it's either grandfathered in or like I did have some feedback from like the Pokemon cards that I sold.
Mm, okay, that helps. That
Yeah,
helps.
I had like
Oh
10,
wow.
10 sales of Pokemon cards. So they were like, yeah, sell all you want. We don't care.
So the thing, Laura, she says, "Oh wow," about the 10%. Coco Bay says the same thing. I just started doing the 10% a few months ago, but now I'm scared to turn it off. You know what I mean? I would prefer to not promote at 10%, honestly, because I do pay eBay. I'm at like 50% profit margins, right? So, it's close to that. So my spreadsheet for my accounting shows $40,000 net. I've grossed $70,000 so far this year. So it's like what 40%
That's
profit margin
still
or
really good.
60% profit margin or
There's a
whatever.
60% profit margin, and I mean, at that insanely low
But
cost of goods,
if I
it's
was not promoting at 10%, that'd be another 10% profit. You know what I mean?
it would, and you could test it, but since
But
you're in a
like I
really
said, I just would rather sell
you're
more
you're
items.
in a really competitive market though.
Right.
Like you could maybe promote only brands that have a ton, like Levi's, for example. There's
Yeah.
a ton of
It's
Levi's,
flooded.
and you
Yeah.
could you could just say like, okay, I'm only going to promote Levi's, or I'm
Yeah.
only going to
That would
promote,
take a lot of work.
what it would take a lot of work, but if you really wanted to like nickel and dime yourself to
Mhm.
more profits, you'd
Right.
have to do that instead of doing a flat 10% across the board.
Right.
So, yeah.
Valentino says he does a flat 8% promotion rate. I wish I knew how many people or how people can only post 3% and make multiple daily sales. Dude, when I was promoting at 1%, I'd still make tons of promoted listing sales. I really don't
Yeah,
know why or what, but it was still happening. But
I mean,
when I turned it up to 10%, I don't think that I was making much more or less at 1%, but I don't know, man. I feel like eventually they're gonna keep pushing the bar up and up and up. Like
I
now
mean
it's 2% instead of one.
that's true too. That could definitely happen, but I mean, there's also other factors that go into your listing. I
Yeah,
mean, I hate to sound like a broken record box, but like, are your pictures better than your competition? Are your
right.
descriptions better? Is
You
your
have
base
more
price better?
pictures.
Are you doing free shipping or are you charging
Yep,
shipping? Like,
yep,
there's all sorts of different factors that can
yep.
that could skew that. So like,
And no matter
you
what,
know,
it's always going to be best match first.
yeah,
And then other things come into play,
yeah,
like
your
how close are
keywords,
you to the
like,
person that you're buying from? Like they're
yeah,
going to
or
show you
that,
someone that's closer first. Yeah, keywords. If you type in verbatim what the person has their title at, I mean,
right,
which is really hard, but if you get the bulk of it right, Nike shirt, men's large, gray, and someone has that title as you're going to obviously land on their listing first. So,
yep,
and like Tommy says, uh, like really popular brands like Jordan shoes, for instance. I don't need to promote my Jordan shoes. They're going
right,
to sell on their own, especially like if it's a 1 through 13, they're going to sell without promotions.
one hundred
You
percent.
know, there's just certain things, but like a Nike shirt, which there's like 28,000 of them listed, and only like 2,000 sell a month. You might want to promote that, and promote
Yeah.
it high.
I've also done like promotions for very very niche items. Like for example, like I have an Real Monsters sealed
Mhm.
VHS, and like it's a
Yeah, I seen that
valuable
you picked
item,
it up.
but it's like it's super niche. So like I
Yeah.
want eBay to promote that VHS to
Hmm.
anything even remotely related to Real Monsters, whether
Right.
that's other Nickelodeon searches
Yep.
or monster searches or
Yep.
kids shows or whatever. So it's,
Right.
you know, that's what I use promotions for. But
Mhm.
I mean, being in the clothing category, there's a ton of competition, so like it makes sense to do a flat promotion, you
Right.
know.
And the thing is, guys, you got to also realize I have 2,600 items listed, right? And I'm not trying to hold on to very many of them. Like there's only a handful of items in my store that I want all the money on. The rest of them, I'm just trying to get rid of them. So
Yeah,
uh, I
turn and
can
burn.
just turn and burn. You know what I mean? So whatever I got to do, man, I'm pulling out all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, well, I
Haley
mean,
says, go ahead.
I was gonna say it makes perfect sense to flat promote if your cost of goods is
It
so
saves
low
time, bro.
and
That's the only reason
you're
why I do
turning
it.
and burning.
Yeah.
Like the model makes sense. The model
Yep.
makes sense. So
Yep.
yeah,
Emily says her account's from 2000, so she's never had issues with selling limits either.
yeah,
Tommy says you can do trending plus a couple percent, so that way you don't over promote and under promote items. That's true, and that's what Bobby the Cat Guy was doing for a little while. He was making daily videos about his sales, and he was doing trending plus, and he was making a boatload of sales too. But Bobby's also got over 4,000 items listed, so he's going to make money regardless. Uh, I promote
yeah.
everything at 2%. I usually get daily sales. See, but you're also at 200 items, so you gotta just stay patient, grasshopper. Like you'll start making daily sales pretty soon. Get
I
up
don't
to
know,
like three or
Hillary.
four hundred items, you'll make daily sales
I was gonna
regardless.
say even at 200 items, I didn't promote anything except for like super niche items, and I was still getting daily sales. So that could even just come down to like maybe what you're selling too. I don't know.
Yeah, that's always something too. Just because it's a good item doesn't mean it's in demand.
That's very
Uh,
true.
Tommy says I do trending plus 3.5 ish, and it averages 7 8% total. Yep. I
That
think
makes
she
sense,
says,
Tommy.
yeah, I think I might be in the wrong category. LOL. 7 years with listing glassware and dinnerware and hand blown glass. To me, it's all easy to pack. Just double box it. But also, all these are slow sales. Yeah, that's not a great category. It's very niche, and it's there. It is risky, but if you pack it like and you can throw it out a second story window, then
Yeah.
you're all good on it arriving safely. But it's a market where it's very very particular on the items. You
Yeah.
got to keyword it up. I don't know brands on any glassware, but I know that there's different makes and different genres and different looks and styles, and this blown and that blown and crystal glass and milk
Oh yeah.
glass and Vaseline glass, and
Yep.
it's a lot. It's a
Depression
lot of
glass.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Uranium, like, yeah. But like
I
I
would
mean,
try a different category, maybe, like on the side. So like you do your daily listing of whatever glass items you do, and then try to add 5 items from a different category that you might be considering getting into until you build some traction. See how it goes, because you don't want to stop what you've been doing for 7 years, and then eBay will be like, "What are you doing?" That's what happened when I changed abruptly to clothing. Uh, like my traffic just jumped off a cliff, but just start adding in some other items that you might consider selling, and then just build up and start generating sales that way. That's what I did with shoes. Shoes, I was listing 30 in one day, and then I wouldn't list any a week or two, But now I'll still bulk list a bunch of shoes, but I won't launch them. I'll just draft them, and then I just trickle in two or three a day, four a day maximum, and then I'll sell like three or four pairs a day because I'm listing three or four pairs a day. It's just that's my theory on it.
No, I think that's very sound advice. That's very sound advice. I
Tommy
think
says,
that's
go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just I think that's gonna make my transition into clothing a little bit easier
Yeah.
because I do shoes and I do hats.
Hmm.
So I feel like the algorithm's not gonna freak out too much when I start listing, 5 to 10
Yeah, just
clothing
don't
items a
jump to
day.
20 clothing items and then,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
outdo whatever else you've been doing.
yeah. I if anyone's curious, by the way, I'm still doing clothing in addition to my regular
Everything
hard
else.
goods. So
Yeah.
I just want to maximize my time at the bins. So like if I go to the
Right.
bins and I do media and I feel like I kind of fell on my face with media, I can just hop on over to the clothing and get
Yep.
some stuff that people pass over all the time, especially on days that Marcus isn't there because I'm not trying
Yeah.
to step on his toes.
Well, I only
So
go once a week, man. There's more than enough stuff
e-
there.
exactly. So
But that's just like JT. I saw him on Monday, and
yeah,
him and his wife, they didn't get nothing. And I'm like, that's why I sell clothing because I had a full cart over there, and they're leaving, and they're like, we just don't know if it's worth it. I'm like, that's
yeah.
why you guys got to jump on over
They
here too.
scored yesterday. They
Yeah.
scored yesterday. Yeah, I
Okay. That's
they
good.
they went like 3 days in a row, and they definitely they did good. They did good yesterday.
And you
So
said they're from Springfield, right? Is that from Missouri or
yes,
Illinois?
I believe it's from Missouri.
I think it
I
is
believe it's
because I
from
told him I
Missouri.
was going down to Camdenton, and he said that it's not that close to there. So I was like, well, is he in Illinois or what?
Maybe it is. I can't remember now.
I don't
Maybe it
know,
is
man.
Illinois. I'm like second guessing myself. But
Well,
anyway,
he's not in the chat, but so
yeah.
Tommy says, plus the higher you promote, you get way more exposure outside of eBay, Google Shopping, Google, Instagram, Facebook, etc. That is true. But that also
Yeah.
there's a negative side of promoting your listings too much. It does make your sales rate and your conversion rate go down because more people are seeing your items that are absolutely not interested at all. So you got to keep that in mind as well. But I didn't really care about all that. What's
What
up,
up,
Brian?
Brian?
New name. I don't know him. Do you know him,
Brian, I
Brian?
believe has commented on our videos. I believe so.
Okay. Well, that's great, man. Appreciate
I
it.
believe
I
so.
don't know if he's commenting on my videos. Maybe he's been in our chat before, but
Maybe.
he's probably one of your subs. Brian, who sent you here? Who do you work for?
Yeah. He also says I don't
Uh,
promote too much on e-beers. I'm sure that's a
yeah,
typo.
right. Well, he probably meant it. Uh, yeah. And Coco Bay said, Hillary Murphy, I'm with you. 2% as well with daily sales and just broke 1,000 items listed. Let's go, Coco Bay.
Yeah, that's huge.
You really have to watch eBay's earnings calls. Their income is future based primarily on promoted listings. If you want to be competitive in their sandbox, start promoting. It's only going to get worse. That's true. I'll never not promote. I'm scared to turn it off. John, Bama
That's an
picking and
interesting
Grant.
take, Tommy.
This is who sent me to your channel, Coco Bay.
What up, John?
My guy.
I feel like
Okay,
we haven't
thank you.
seen John
No
in the
problem.
chat in a while.
He works. He works. He's like
How dare he?
I want to say he's like the manager for some type of. He works for Kia, but he's like the supervisor for some type of shift, and he's 2 weeks on during the day, 2 weeks on at night. It's swing shift type of thing, but it's in chunks.
Well,
So he
John,
just doesn't
I
get
don't
it.
want to hear any excuses. You need to be here and present every
Here,
Thursday at 7 p.m.
yes,
CST.
sir.
So if you can please stop what you're doing.
Yeah, man. Uh, in most clothing categories, 11 to 20 search results are reserved for promoted listings that you cannot bypass. So 9 out of 20 results are split between auctions, new listings, and finally organic. Yeah,
That's a
so
good point. That's a good point.
you gotta, like I said,
You
man,
got
I'm
to pay
pulling
to
out all
play.
the,
You got to pay to
yeah,
play
you
there
definitely
for
have to pay to
sure.
play, man. She said, right
Uh,
with all the book knowledge you're gaining, you can become a book guru. Okay.
I mean, listen, I am learning trial by fire with books.
Yeah.
I'm just literally grabbing stuff that I think is cool. I
Yep.
know a couple good authors, but it is like it almost feels like I'm restarting my reselling journey with books. It's kind of fun though. I'm having a good time, and
Yeah.
yeah. And the thing is like books are so plentiful. So there's always value to be found. So like my goal is when I go to the bins, I want to be able to maximize my profit for every category of the bins that there is. So like
Right.
if I'm going to GM, I want to be able to extract as much profit out of there as I can.
Yep.
If I go to media, I want to extract as much profit, and then clothing, so on and so forth. So if I can learn clothing and books deeply, then I'm a force
Mhm.
to be reckoned with in any
Right.
category at the
Yep.
bins.
You
So
can leave with hundreds or thousands of dollars a day, regardless.
every single
And
day,
that's kind of
absolutely.
how I'm with brand knowledge on clothing items as well. So like I'll go there and I'll pick up all the stuff that I've known was good for just buying clothes my whole life.
Right.
Then I'll pick up stuff that I used to wear in high school, or I'll pick up brands that look good but I've
Yeah.
never heard of, the name tag, or even the way the tag is attached to the clothing items. I can tell like usually it's something worth looking up. If the tag looks like it's gonna fall off if you pull on it too hard, it's
Yeah.
probably something worth looking up because it's like
Yep.
boutique-ish and things like that. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I
Tino
mean,
said, "Go ahead."
I was gonna say, I think that it's also important that like you only have so much bandwidth for brands or authors, like brands of clothing,
Mm.
authors of books. Like you can only know so much, but it's possible to get
Oh man, I
close.
feel like what I feel like is if you find a banger or something that brings good money, you're never gonna forget it. All you got to do is find it once and
I
it's
mean,
embedded into your memory
you're
because you're
probably
gonna
you're
be like,
probably right.
I paid $1 for that thing and I sold it for 50. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
those are good returns. You're never gonna forget that.
that's
I'll
true.
never ever sell these little die-cast planes that I found ever again, but I paid 50 cents for these things and sold them each for $30. I'll never forget these things. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
a die-cast like car, but they were TWA planes and Pan Am.
Oh yeah, especially the Pan Am
Valentino
stuff.
says, totally unrelated. I was at the bands and I heard a dad tell his kid, "You sunk my battleship." The kid said, "What's that mean?" I felt so old, shaking
Oh
my
no.
head. Yeah, Battleship was my game when I was a kid, dude.
Hell yeah.
Brian says, Springfield guy is me, Illinois.
I no, Brian, I feel like I knew that. I
No,
knew that about you, Brian, but I was
yeah, I'm definitely talking about JT though.
yeah, I think they are too. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I think I
Because they're
remember
not in the
Brian
chat.
from I
I'm saying it
remember
doesn't
Brian
matter.
from your gaming channel. When you were
Yes.
gaming, I mean, I remember him being in there now.
Yes, yes,
And you
yes.
guys talking about Springfield.
Yes.
Um, so Tommy says, yes, I agree. I was talking with James about that when he was promoting 25% a day. They were showing his stuff to the walls trying to get it sold. But he was all over the place with his promotions as well, too. Like one day he'd be at 20, one day he'd be at 25, one day he'd be back at 10. You know what I mean? And he was just trying to figure out what was going on with the algorithm because he was selling like 150 and then went down to like 70, 80.
Huh.
You know what I mean? I think his sales are still all over the place, but he's also a gigantic everything seller. He's got
Gotcha.
35,000 items listed of everything:
Yeah.
media, clothing, hats,
there's
shoes.
no steadiness to that. There's no
Yeah,
steadiness to that. So
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, well, yes, sir. Okay, so John is the supervisor of sun visors for the Kid Telluride. Okay. While we were talking, have I seen you in the chat on Jimmy and John show? Oh, he's got you there, buddy. Have you subbed to his channel and joined his chat on Sundays?
Niches. Are you talking to me?
Yeah, he's talking to you.
Oh, oh, my
So
bad.
while we're talking, have I seen you in the chat on Jimmy and John's show?
I
They do it
no,
live every
no,
Sunday. Yeah,
no.
you'll have
I
to
have
sub.
not. I'll have to
Niches equals riches is the old adage. Yes, sir. That's for sure.
$1 per adult book at my bins. I mean, we
That's
pay
kind of
35
expensive, ain't it?
cents an inch. So
Yeah.
like it is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous how much profit is probably left untapped in the media, for real. For real.
Uh, Books, can you list and choose to ship only USPS book rate? You can sell
Yeah.
media mail if that's
Yeah,
what you
media
need,
mail.
but you can't. There's certain items you're not supposed to ship in media mail.
Right.
People do it all the time, but they do open the packages, so you might want to be careful with that.
Yeah,
Uh,
but yes, I mean but yeah, media mail all day and it's super cheap. So
yeah,
that's
it's
another
like
good thing
three
about
ninety
books.
nine a pound, I think, and it just goes up in increments after that.
Yep.
Or
I'm
three
also gonna
nineteen. I mean,
Yeah, 319. Yeah. I'm gonna be looking into selling books on Amazon as well, but that's further down the line. We'll get to that point. I want to get to clothes first.
So John does not supervise the sun visors, although they've fallen. I didn't know Tommy was being smart about that.
That's funny.
I,
No, that's
I
funny
thought he was
because
being serious.
man, they're really putting a lot into
Yeah,
just the sun
but those
visors.
Tellurides are like
Oh,
the number
yeah.
one seller though, so I thought I could see it.
I mean,
Uh,
they look nice, you know.
yeah. I send books via USPS Media Mail, and yes, you can choose that as a shipping option when you list your item. Yeah, there's a drop down menu whenever you list an item on eBay. Just choose Media Mail, and then like if it's not automatically selected when you go to make your shipping label, you can change it to Media Mail as well. But usually that's what you want to make sure it's in because you don't want to change it to something that's extremely slow if it's say on priority mail or first class. So just
Yup.
try to do your best to make sure it's set on Media Mail when you list the item.
Yup.
Uh, I've told him 100 times what's happened. He was listing like 200 a day forever. Then his son left, who did sourcing and shipping for his job. James listings were cut. Yeah, that's what happens. eBay's kind of spiteful. They want you to keep doing what you're doing. You got to
Oh
keep
yeah.
feeding the beast.
Keep feeding the machine.
So that's just like
Yep.
us cutting listings in half. Our sales will drop as well. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't. I'm not sure you can tell him that to where he'll actually listen to you because he's such a vet at selling on eBay. And I'm not to talk bad on anybody, but people get stuck in their ways, and when things change, they don't they don't like that. For number one, they don't want to change anything. People don't like change, but then when things do change, they start panicking and start trying to throw everything in the fire to get the fire going again. You know what I mean? So
Very true.
books I do, but it's tough at the St. Louis bins. Good bins of books, like 1 out of 6 times it seems. Competition is pretty fierce, but there's always some stuff overlooked. Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
know. I mean, I find that there's like one or two book resellers there religiously, but most of the time, like they can't get to everything. So
It used to be crazy, dude. Like when I first started going to that bins, the book game was off the chain, man. But what I assume happened is all those people had just started an Amazon account and
yeah,
they're waiting to get ungated in other
ungated.
categories. And they
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
sell books first.
yep. And they
So,
just that was their ticket. That was their ticket
yeah,
to freedom right
yeah.
there.
Because I
Yep.
don't see none of those people in there anymore.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
no
Exactly.
video games and magazines with advertisements for Media Mail. Thank you,
Right.
Hillary
That's
and
correct.
God
Yeah,
for Media Mail.
all the video games that I sell go first class.
Yep. Valentino said, "Do you guys only source at the bins or mostly at the bins?" I mostly source at the bins, but sprinkle in regular Goodwills on their sales days on Sundays. I only source at the bins exclusively. I don't even go to yard sales anymore because I've been getting all the items that I need at the bins. What I do though, and this is only a temporary thing. My twin brother works at a thrift store, and I buy shoes once a week there. But when he's not there cherry picking me good shoes, I'll probably stop going in there. I am trying to get the guy to sell me a truckload of clothing there though, but
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna budge on it, man. But they always my brother's like, dude, they throw so much vintage in there because that's not our thing here at the thrift store.
Right.
It's like vintage hats, clothing. He's
Oh,
like,
I can
it
only
all goes in
imagine.
bags on that truck. And I'm
I
like,
can only
I need to
imagine.
buy that truck,
Well, that's like I was just thinking like if I ever get super deep into the book game, like
man.
I know there's people out there that do Amazon that buy
Some
gaylords of
Gaylords, yeah.
books and then they
Uh,
just sort out all the good stuff, sell all the good stuff
Zach
to Amazon and
Newton
then,
Bought and Gun does that. I don't know if
yeah.
you've ever watched his channel, but I've had him on it. This dude's like all over the place with real estate, Amazon, rental
Yeah.
properties and all that. And he does, that's what he does, constantly buying gaylords of books,
Yeah,
put
dude.
them on Amazon. He
It's
makes
a
a
real
killing.
thing.
Yeah,
We listen, Marcus and I and Zesty, we're gonna get a warehouse where we can
yeah,
have
it's
an
going
18
down, dude.
wheeler pull up. Okay.
Unload some things and keep it going, man.
Because that's the only thing that sucks about like getting something that big, like a gaylord full of something. You need somewhere to drop it off at, and like
Hmm.
if you're in an apartment or you're in like a small city house, like we're in, like
Yeah.
there's not a lot of space to put that.
See, Chris would flip the world, man. He had a truck with two gaylords of tennis shoes dropped off on his front yard, man.
I mean,
Like that.
that's one way to do it. You know,
Yeah,
listen, the city doesn't have HOA, so like they wouldn't care here,
right.
really. I
Well, I
mean,
don't think he lived in one of those types of communities. I don't think they got HOA either, but he
yeah,
sorted through them all right then and there and took what he was keeping in the house and just that
smart.
same day put the rest on Facebook Marketplace and sold the duds for like whatever he paid for the two Gaylords, he sold the duds for and got all his money back, so all the other shoes were profit.
That's
So
wild.
that's
That's
a crazy
wild.
flip.
Yeah.
Hillary says, speaking of change, I recently changed to the new eBay listing tool on desktop and I'm liking it much better. I do like the new listing tool better, but there are glitches in it currently that were not there a couple, months ago when I first started. So like if you have custom templates or anything like in not custom templates, but I have custom descriptions already saved so I can just copy paste my descriptions or just click the button and they're glitching. So every time I go to add them, they don't add it. It starts my listing over again. It
Ugh.
was it was taking like 5-6 attempts to load my pictures to my listing before it finally would allow me to for the pictures to stick. So like my thing is I try to get the listing completed before the pictures upload, right? So I'd be halfway through the listing, and then the pictures would not load, and the whole listing would start over. So 5 or 6 attempts on one listing gets real, you get real
Oh
aggravating.
yeah.
So I was making
I'd
for
be
long
breaking stuff.
days. Well, now the pictures are loading fine, but I still can't use my custom description or my blurb that I just copy and paste in there. So it's taking some
Yeah.
time to type all that stuff out and type descriptions, but I still
Bro,
like the flow of it. It looks neater and cleaner too.
eBay makes millions of dollars. You guys can hire competent coders to make this
Yeah.
software better. Like, come
Well, they
on.
say the thing is though is like if they change
Seriously.
too much, it messes up the whole old system. That's why they brought out
I
this new
mean,
listing tool with all the new
yeah.
changes.
That makes some sense. That makes some
Yeah,
sense. We need to catch up on chat, by the way.
yeah.
We
We're
are
not too
over our
far
time.
behind. Tommy says I've had so many people tell me they want to get to like 100, 200,000 listings and live off it. Don't matter if you stop listing, your sales gonna
Yeah.
they will drop. You gotta stay
Yep.
consistent. That's the biggest thing
That's
about it.
real stuff, Tommy. Yeah.
I guess it could be better during the weekdays too. I typically go weekends since I'm out of town. Yeah,
That could
I've
be.
gone on the weekends, but I don't usually go on the weekend. I go Monday. I
Yeah.
want to start doing books on Amazon. They jump on board.
Seriously.
Hillary, do you find that the new tool takes more keystrokes than the old tool? I don't think it does. I'm keystrokes. I don't use the keys. You got you got to
Huh.
be old school, I guess. Like some tricks I don't even know about. I use the trackpad. So like my computer's got a trackpad. I just scroll up and down and just click a button. Boom, 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 boom. Listing done.
I'm gonna get you a mouse out of the GM, okay?
I don't even want it. I had a mouse, man. I would
Bro,
rather not take my hand off the
that is the
keyboard.
craziest thing I've ever heard. Is you
What? And
prefer
I
the
don't want a
trackpad
mouse.
over
Yeah,
a
dude, it's
real
way
mouse. That is the
quicker.
crazy.
I
Let's end the
don't
show
want to.
right
I
now.
don't want to take my hand off the keyboard, dude. For
Nope,
me
we're ending the
to
show. This is blasphemy, Marcus. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this.
uh,
Let's
she's
cut
a,
it off. Cut
we
the
got
show off.
two more comments. Hillary says, I don't know if it's a more or less keystrokes, but I do like how it's organized better. I find it easier to find the fields I'm looking at edit. Yeah, exactly. Do you use a new listing tool, or are you still on the old system?
No, I use it all on my phone.
Oh yeah, you're doing your phone, so you don't even know
I don't
anyway.
yeah, I haven't gotten to that level yet. I'm gonna eventually when I start doing more clothes, that's
Yeah.
how it's gonna be. So
The main issue with buying Gaylords or books is not getting ones that have already been checked by other resellers. The second is getting rid of all the duds. The typical dumpster gets filled quick. Yeah, yeah,
that's true. I got a
that's a
city
risk you
dumpster
got
out
to take.
back though. So
Yeah. She said, I'm still using the old listing tool. Many of the resellers I follow have been showing screenshots, but I keep reading that other sellers don't like it. Veterans don't like it. Veterans are trying to hold out as long as possible.
oh
So I would recommend you do that. Sorry about that. Marcus is so focused on productivity, he can't be asked to use a computer mouse. That's exactly, man. Yep.
That's funny.
All right,
That's
yeah,
funny.
man. So we're 8 minutes over our time, guys. Really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. This is a pretty
Yes.
lively chat tonight, man.
Yes, it
Definitely appreciate
was.
all you guys' inputs, comments, just
Questions?
your time in general, your questions, all that, man. Definitely appreciate it. It was a good time, man.
Yes. Yes.
Videos dropping tomorrow at 7.
Tomorrow at 7. You know it.
Hopefully mine will be up at 7 too. It's been taking a really long time for my videos to load since monetization. Does that happen to you, man? Like they got to
No.
do super long copyright checks?
Oh, the checks. Yeah. Yeah, the checks do
Okay.
take a little longer. Yeah.
Yeah,
That does
we'll
happen.
see. All right, man. 7
Yep.
o'clock a.m., guys.
Yes.
Everyone have a great time, great night. Take some
Yes.
self.
Don't forget to go down in the description, join the Discord. We do this every Thursday night at 7 p.m. CST. So if you're new here, come back and join us next week on my channel.
Yep.
And again, just
Hillary
to announce
Murphy.
it again, Hillary Murphy in the chat right now, and also Zesty, my partner in Thrift, will be on the show with us next week. I'm very excited. So
yeah, me too, man. It's gonna be a good time, definitely.
Good times.
All right, guys.